Hey Bev.
Welcome in, cameraman.
You're on 73 Questions of Vogue, but extremely modified. So, what made you want to do the interview today here in Aurora?
Well, Aurora's my hometown, so by nature, I love it here. And it totally helps that I was home for Thanksgiving weekend.
Smells like candles in here. So, what have you done so far today?
Well, I love to read.
That's a magazine.
Okay, you got me, but same thing. Anyways, I started my day off with a devotional, and then I went to the gym because no day would be complete without it. Went to work for a couple hours, did some bartending, and came home for family time.
Right, and now we're here.
Right, my Aurora bestie. Along with my family, you guys are the people who made me who I am, taught me how to act, and taught me what not to say too loud in public.
So, tell me about your family.
Well, I might say there's 5 of us, but really, there's 6. Growing up, I lived with 2 siblings, my happily married parents, my grandma, and it would be a crime not to include my little Jessie. Aside from her, they moved here right before I was born, so you can still hear their accents very prominently. How are you, Mom?
Good, Dave. How are you?
Is that Australian?
No.
Anyways, do your family and you have shared priorities?
Absolutely. We all hold our faith very close to our hearts, which makes holidays, celebrations, and even meals together that much more enjoyable. Although the kiddos are all branched out now, and even with my sister living in Australia, we find our faith to be something that binds us together, which is really great.
Why are you still holding that?
Don't ask me that.
Okay, moving on. Does anything set you apart from them?
I mean, aside from my blonde hair being the only blonde in the family, we all have extremely varying viewpoints. For example, views on homosexuality, the literalism behind the Bible, views on fitness industry, or even on gender roles.
Hey, don't go on there. But speaking of, how do you use the media?
Well, I mean, I hate to admit it, but I am always on social media. When I post, I'm usually posting fitness-related content, and when I'm scrolling on TikTok or Instagram, if it's not gym-related, it's the news or some other random content that appeals to young adults. I'd easily say that I rely heavily on my phone to access the media, and I'm aware that this leaves plenty of room for biases to occur, but for convenience's sake, that's a risk that I'm honestly willing to take.
Very risky. Do you think your media is biased towards your views?
Oh, definitely. I mean, the algorithms being used are so carefully curated for the user that whenever I might show interest in a political party or a specific ideology, my feed becomes covered in that and biased with that perspective.
Interesting. So what else can you tell us about you and your culture and identity?
Well, my favorite color is yellow, and while this seems to have nothing to do with culture, it has to do with my identity. It's a color that very much represents who I am and who I strive to be. It's generally happy, and it correlates to sunshine and positivity. And 2 books in the Bible actually correlate yellow with God's presence and the joy that He shares with us, making it an even better color.
Do you have any setbacks to your identity?
Well, I never want to view any part of my identity as a setback, but obviously obstacles do occur. Being someone who experiences mental illness, I face daily challenges that interfere with my communication, my thinking process, and my judgment. However, these challenges have over time taught me how to manage my emotions and develop empathetic and forgiving values.
Do you think other people see the way you self-identify?
Well, I mean, I'd like to hope so, but truthfully, I don't act the way I always want to act. I'd love to donate generously and spend my time volunteering, but in reality, my focus is on advancing my career and building a family.
Identity check. What about culture?
Well, my geographical culture is very rich. My South African family loves their cultural food and traditions, and I'm hoping these are recipes that I will never forget. But outside of just food, our culture emphasizes belonging, generosity, and selflessness, which I'll forever hold close to my heart.
Check and check. That's great, Bev. Anything else you want to add on?
Well, do you have any other questions that will make me contemplate life itself?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'll show you the door. Peace and love.